Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Franchetti and this is my instructional design presentation. I have been teaching for 19 years. My first 7 years I taught at Warner Elementary School teaching strictly second grade. I then went to Richardson Park Elementary School and I taught fourth grade for 1 year and then taught second grade for 8 more years there. In 2020, I moved to Linwood Elementary School in Pennsylvania and I teach second grade there as well. And with my second graders, I teach reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. For this plan, I've chosen my second grade students. These students are young learners in the early stages of reading and writing, and since that is so important, the focus is phonics. Phonics is a crucial component in building foundational reading and writing skills. Classroom learning environment for my students is very diverse and varying in the backgrounds of the students and the levels of phonics proficiency. The second grade classroom content is a critical component of the larger educational system. The foundational phonics skills taught in the classroom lay the groundwork for future reading, comprehension, and writing abilities. Mastery of these phonics skills is essential. The first instructional goal that I have is students will be able to use phonics skills to blend CVC words. CVC words being consonant, vowel, consonant. The second instructional goal is students will be able to use phonics skills to blend CVC words with letter blends. And the last one is students will be able to use phonics skills to blend CVCE words, that silent E, moving into long vowels. The instructional goals for the students. Where the students should be in my classroom coming into second grade is they should be working with CVCE words and moving through vowel teams. They should have a very strong foundation in short vowels and blending short vowels with letter blends. What are the needs in my classroom? The very large amount of students this year who struggle with CVC words and struggle with those blends with the CVC words. So that's why I decided to create my plan around that with some small groups. My goal analysis diagram is here, and the flow chart starts here on the left side where we talk about a reading group that will be using CVC words. And that is the goal there. The students will be able to read and write CVC words. Students will be able to sound out words. And students will be able to write a word verbally when given the word. So they'll be able to be given a word and sound it out on their own and then write it. So that would be the order in which we would want the students to be able to work through that process. Once the students have that skill, or there just might be students that come in knowing that skill, so then we would move right to the second skill, which is CVC words, those short vowel words with some letter blends. And that would follow the same pattern as well. The students, we want them to be able to sound out and read the words. I want the students to be able to write the CVC words and blend them when given verbally. And then the next step would be for them to work on those long vowels with the silent A once they have progressed through those first two goals that they should have had in first grade but aren't quite there yet. For instructional strategies, the first thing that you need to do is make groups. The groups should be very small, 4 to 5 students in a group. There should be data that is used to form those groups. And the students will see reading specialists through the RTII program as well as small groups with the homeroom teacher. One of the things the students will be able to do independently to support the phonics skills that they're learning is work on our district program for Smarty Ants. It's a reading program, and it starts with the smaller phonics skills, and it's based on where the students are. So I can level them out or put them and assign them skills, and then they can work through those skills. So it will match exactly and correlate exactly with what they're doing with the RTII reading specialist as well as myself. In the small groups, we will be working on interactive learning. All of the learning is interactive within that small group. The students might partner and work right next to the person next to them at the table, and then with me as well. Sorting activities. One of the sorting activities I have here, I always use pictures because I want them to look at the picture, say the word, and then be able to sound it out on their own. Or they might build a word off of that picture with, let's say, magnetic tiles, which is this picture I have here. It's a different type of activity that we would do hands-on with magnetic tiles. Motion and sound blending. Sometimes I have the students stand up. We stomp out sounds. One of the other things we do is we clap out sounds. We use our arm and we work our way down our arm to blend those sounds. Sometimes we do it right on a piece of paper where they're pointing, like you see this one here. They're pointing to each sound and then they draw that line to blend it together. So lots of different ways to get the kids moving. And then decodable books, once they're ready, after we've worked on one of the vowels for a little bit, I like to pull in the decodable books. We do a lot of echo reading, which is I read, they read, or choral reading where we read all together, and then eventually they read that story on their own, that decodable book. The assessments that I use are determining levels and skills. This happens with the spelling inventory and the DIBELS assessment, and that's given at the very beginning of the school year, and we sit down as a data team and make a decision on who's going to be in what groups and what skills the students need. Then we move into progress monitoring, and the DIBELS assessment has a progress monitoring tool that they get progress monitored every week. And then the teachers do a spelling inventory using the words that go with the skill that we are teaching. And then finally, we have our summative assessment. And again, it's still the same. It's a spelling inventory test and the DIBELS, and this is given after the 6-week cycle. The evaluation plan. We have assessments, review of data, and the next steps. So as a team, we sit down every week. We have data meetings at my school. We sit down, we go over assessments that we've given, we go over progress monitoring, we go over, and all of that data will help us make a decision of whether the plan is working. Do we need to make adjustments? Next steps would be, normally, most kids will make progress throughout that. And if there are certain kids that aren't making progress, then we would have a strategic intervention plan, and we might put them through our MTSS process. What did I learn from doing this plan? One, the benefits were huge. I learned that it benefits me and my students, which was awesome, in that for me, it helps me stay more focused, organized. I'm more thorough with my teaching. I have a plan of action of what needs to come next once students learn a specific skill, rather than kind of jumbling and figuring it out without the plan. For the students, they're learning very explicit skills in a small group setting, so it's just perfect for them as well. The collaboration was amazing. My team was great with me through this process. They helped me. We talked about things throughout it as I built the plan. They are actually willing to start a new plan with me for an intervention for kids that are above, or we need to give them some enrichment skills, and so they're willing to do that with me as well. So it's just been, I've found this to be a great tool, and it's really exciting that the teachers that I work with are willing to jump in and use what I've created and now want to create more with me. I hope you enjoyed my plan. If you teach phonics at all on any level, maybe this will help you. Anything that you need, please reach out.